Hey guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. This is vlog 2 of May because I have completely speed read through my first May TBR. I was erring on the side of caution and only picked 3 prompts because sometimes I read a lot, sometimes I don't, and this is just a month where I read a lot, I guess. So we will pick up where we left off. I finished Divine Rivals a bit ago. I think I'm ready to select some new books to read. So let me grab my handy dandy little jar. Let's see. And let's pick our new prompt. Let's mix them up really good. Let's pick this guy. Oh, it's trying to focus on me. So, a book from last year's TBR. This one's going to be interesting because I really feel like I only kind of got back into reading as a hobby. All right. TBR jar pick number 2. Let's go for a yellow. I don't know what this one says. Let's do a craft inspired by your read. This is actually really good because I am in the midst of trying to finish a couple of different craft projects that I'm working on. I'm working on a crochet, fluffy, cozy blanket. This is how far I've gotten. Let's pick a third. Then, I picked 2, so we're gonna redo that because I don't want to be cheaty. Let's see. Is that what I think it is? It's a Rosie pick. For those of you who don't know, my dog's name is Rosie. She is chilling on her little favorite window seat where she often curls up during the day and the evening and just hangs out with me. For Rosie's pick, I have selected, I'm breathing heavily because I've been running all over the house finding these books. Because I have a feeling that little Miss Rosie would like to see me actually finish a book. I have just an absurd amount of books that I'm considering softy enoughs because it's not like I've consciously chosen to stop reading them. It's just that I put them down and I just haven't picked them up again, you know? I picked 3 that I'm working on. One of them I've talked about, and I think I thought I was finished, but it turns out I was not even close to finish with this book. I don't know what my brain was doing that day. All right. We got our treats. We got our dog. Oh, and we have a selection. I guess we're gonna go right for Dragonfall. I got a little doggy slobber to fill up. Yep, get your treats. Thank you. Thank you for your service, kind ma'am. You go back to sleep on the windowsill. So, selection made. Dragonfall it is. This I will probably finish today, between today and tomorrow. There is really not that. I think I have less than 100 pages left. Yeah. Alright, maybe a little bit more than 100 pages left. But still, I'll fly through this. We're getting to the end, so we gotta get to the good part, right? For the book that is inspired by a craft, or a craft inspired by your read, I think I'm going to stick with my initial thought that because I'm doing knitting and crochet right now, I don't really have any knitting or crochet based stories, I don't believe. So instead of picking it based on a story, I'm gonna go with the cover because both of the ones that I'm working on right now are pink based projects. So I've got my blanket, I've got a pink baby blanket that I hope to make for my little niece. And I think I'm going to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, finally. I put this on a bunch of TBRs and just have not gotten around to it. This seems like a good excuse. It's nice and pink. This is a contemporary romance about the son of the US president falling in love with the Prince of England, and they're kind of overcoming their initial dislike of each other. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say enemies to lovers, but it's like frenemies to lovers, it sounds like. So it could be very cute. I'm kind of looking forward to it because I think it's going to be very, very different from a lot of the romances I've read. And it's, you know, it just sounds like it's going to be a very sweet, sweet little story. And finally, a book from last year's TBR. This is going to be a hard pick for me, I think. The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I have seen this all over social media, BookTube, Instagram, Kindle Unlimited. It is a Kindle Unlimited book, but I got a used copy at Half Price Books, so I said, sure, why not? So with that, I will check in a little bit. Hey guys, just checking back in. I am making good progress in Dragonfall. I'm on page 242 now. I'm still liking it. We finally got a little bit of action, which is really pushing me through the story a little bit more. We've had some reveals. We've had the heist, right, that the story is kind of centered around, finally has, I think, sort of happened. I'm still really liking it. It's just, for some reason, this book is just not holding my attention the way that I thought it would. And I don't really know why that is. It just isn't. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I've never really been super into, like, heist books. So I don't know why I thought this one would really speak to me, but anyway, I am bound and determined to finish it. I feel like I've invested so much time and energy into it at this point that it just needs to get done. But it is getting a little sidetracked because I did do a little bit of a library haul. One of my goals for this year has definitely been to utilize the library a smidge more. So in true mood reader fashion, the books that I picked to replace or to supplement my May TBR are getting a little displaced. I'm still planning on reading them. I still think I can get through all of them this month, but they will be competing with the 4 books that I picked up from my local library. So the first of those 4 books is All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. I am, if I have to admit, almost halfway through this book already. I'm at page like 150 or so of this 300 or so page book. So far I like it. I can't tell if this is like pure mystery, if it's supposed to be a bit of a thriller. It's not very thrilling, and the mystery is kind of starting to lose me as well. Here's the thing about these books. I haven't read many of them because I'm not a big mystery or thriller reader either, though I do want to get into that genre, both of those genres a bit more. But my perception of these books is that whenever they present you with an obvious suspect, it's never them. And it just feels like we've been presented with one obvious suspect after another in this book, in a way that makes me think that it's going to be all of them. I have no idea if that's spoilers or not. I have not read this book yet, but like I'm just saying, the writing is easy. I'm not saying it's the most compelling story, like thriller I've ever read. Hey guys, editing Amanda here to just say the last bit of this clip got cut off, and so the rest of my library haul for that particular section was a pair of Veronica Speedwell mystery books that I will talk about later on probably ad nauseum. But the fourth book was The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. I did not end up reading this book in this vlog, but I do have it for quite a while yet. I'm excited to read this one. I just haven't been in the mood for a spy thriller right at this moment. Alright, hey guys, as you can see, I have rearranged my space just a smidge, just to kind of make it work a little better for me. So I've moved this chair up here, the bookshelf was shifted a bit, and my desk is all sort of flipped around now, but it just works better with work and life all happening kind of in the same room. So I wanted to check in about All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. I am giving this book like a 2.5, maybe a 3. It wasn't bad. It didn't blow me away. I don't know. I feel like other reviews that I've seen have said similar things where it was okay. It's a perfectly fine book. I did not like the ending. I think that by taking the ending to that extra step that Ashley Flowers did, her story actually lost some of its intrigue, if that makes sense. It definitely made it creepier, but I don't know that really saved the story in this case at all. I feel like we really needed to build up the suspense and the suspicion a little bit more than we had. Now, I am reading one right now that I like, but I don't think that my dad would be super into, and that is A Dangerous Collaboration by Deanna Raybourn. This is book 4 in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series, which is a lot of fun. I am taking these out from the library because I think once I read them, I'm not going to want to necessarily reread them, so it's not worth paying for. But as you can see, I am a good chunk of the way in. I think this book is I think the least interesting mystery thus far, but the most interesting in terms of the development of the relationship between Veronica and Stoker. So, just a brief a brief review, if you will. I think these are a lot of fun. I used to be really into the Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, which is a TV show. But what I thought was interesting, and I just noticed this for the first time, I'm not sure if other people's libraries do this. I get a receipt from my library whenever I check out books, right? And on that receipt, it has a running total of the amount of money that I've saved by using or checking the books out from the library instead of purchasing them myself. Is that just a my library thing, or did other libraries do that too? Because I'm fascinated. I have no idea how they calculate the costs. I assume that it's just like market price for these books. But it's so far this year, apparently, I have saved over $300 just by taking books out of the library, which is astonishing. So yeah, use your local library, save yourself some money, try the books out there, and if you like them, purchase them later. And I guess I'm going to give that advice right back to myself, because I am definitely guilty of a good, book haul, book buying adventure. Anyway, this is what I'm reading right now. I thought I picked up the next book in this series, But I was mistaken. This is like book, I don't know, 9 or something. So I just could not read a list, apparently. So I have to return this one because I will not read this. Next, I'm going to have to wait and maybe put a hold on book 5. This is book 4. Yeah, I will get back to it. And then I think we're going to get back to some of the books that I actually put on my TBR, which I have not started yet. So good morning, guys. I just wanted to check in because yesterday was a supremely productive reading day. I read quite literally the entire book of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That's kind of a terrible glare there. I really enjoyed it. I've purposely been keeping myself away from a good chunk of spoilers for this one, but I feel like I never heard people describe it accurately from what I heard. There's vampires in here. Our main character is the human daughter of the vampire king, and she has been raised to protect herself, to trust no one, to survive in a world where she is not meant to survive. Let's put it that way. All of that is true, but I feel like if you're going to describe this book, you should put a disclaimer in here that it is pretty much The Hunger Games meets From Blood and Ash. Take those two, mix them together, you get this book. Which is great, don't get me wrong. Big fan of both of those series. But I see strong similarities between like Katniss from the Hunger Games and Aurea from The Serpent and the Wings of Night, in that this girl's just trying to figure out what to do with her life, and she really doesn't know what to do with it. She is kind of just doing what's expected of her because what else is there to do? Honestly. I mean, we don't know what she likes. We don't really know what she dislikes. We know she's been through a bunch of trauma. But we don't really know anything else about her. So it's interesting that I've read a 450-page book, thoroughly enjoyed it, was ready to pick up book 2 at like 11 p.m. last night. And in the light of this morning sun, I'm just realizing that, like, I don't know how to describe this book because it feels just a little bit like, I don't want to say a reader insert because that's not exactly true, but there's so much left open about this main character. I feel like you can kind of fill in the blanks yourself with whatever traits you want to either give her or you see in yourself, and you can, like, it's a bit of a small reader insert, which sometimes that there's no problem with that. I think in romantasy it works because, obvious reasons. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will be reading the second one. I did run to the library again yesterday. Of course, I came across something on a display, A Tempest of Tea. I have been following, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Hafsa Faisal, on Instagram for a while, and her Instagram account and her husband's Instagram account are the cutest things ever. Like, just so sweet. I love the premise of this book. I'm in a vampire kick right now, for sure. This is a speakeasy vampire speakeasy set in the 20s, with a heist. Done. Sold. You got me. Love the vibes. The speakeasy is under a tea shop, which is why it's called a Tempest of Tea, I am presuming. I have no idea what else is going on in it, other than on Libby, I think I'd have to wait like over a year to get an ebook copy, which is absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Libby situation with my library card, but like, good lord, people are just waiting ages for an ebook to become available, and you just walk into the library and you pick up the book. Just drive to the library, guys. It's fine. I'm excited to start this one. I am also equally excited to start Red, White, and Royal Blue finally, because I watched the trailer for the movie and it got me. I really want to watch the movie, but I don't want to watch the movie before I read the book, because I've heard that there are some changes that have been made in the movie that the book does better. Let's put it that way. So I want to be able to experience the book first before I watch the movie. So I think this is probably going to be the next one, and A Tempest of Tea will be second. So yeah, I will fill you guys in later on. I'm probably going to put myself together a smidge more and run some errands today, get ready for the weekend, kind of go from there. So I'll see you guys. Hello friends, I am just checking back in. I finished A Witch Hat Atelier Volume 12 not long ago, maybe like a day or two ago. And ever since then, I've been in a little bit of a reading slump, because it's just, I was so looking forward to that volume coming out, and it once again ended on a cliffhanger. And I still absolutely love the series. I love the direction that the series is going, and it's becoming, I guess, a little less whimsical, but it's still like full of like childlike wonder and, you know, making choices about growing up and like what kind of person do you want to be as an adult. And I think that story is hitting me at the right time. I love it. I wish I wasn't all caught up. I wish I could like continuously like read through the series. I could reread it, but it's, you know, there's just something magical about reading something for the first time, you know? That said, I've been like sitting here with Red, White, and Royal Blue right now, and I can't bring myself to open it. There's like absolutely nothing wrong with this book. Like, I genuinely could not crack the cover. I think I'm just maybe a smidge romanced out right now, which kind of sucks, because I feel like I do this to this book every time, that it's never on the top of my romance pile. It's never on the bottom. But I feel like by the time I get around to it, it doesn't call to me for some reason, which is weird, because I just absolutely love the synopsis and premise of this book. But I think I may put this one on hold until next month, perhaps. It is Pride Month next month, and this is a gay romance. So it feels a little bit more appropriate to maybe just put it off. And like by next month, I mean like read it a week from now instead of right in this moment. that leaves me free to start a different book. And I did do a little bit of a library haul. Again, I returned the books that I finished already and picked up a couple of things that came in off of hold, which was a nice surprise. I was definitely not expecting these to be as quick as they were. One thing about using your library is like you put a hold on a physical book and it's like, oh, you could get it 2 weeks from now. You could get it tomorrow. Or you might be waiting for a month and a half. You just never know. Oh, but all 3 of those that you put holds on will all come in at the same time, regardless of whether you've been waiting a month and a half and then you put a hold on something yesterday. So that's what happened to me. And it's not that outrageous, okay? I have the next 2 Veronica Speedwell mysteries, and I'm not gonna lie, I think a little cozy mystery, it might be in order. So I believe the next one in the series that I have up is A Murderous Relation, which I think is book number 5. I may be doing that. I also have been really craving, and of course I don't have my Kindle or my iPad around. I got into this cozy mystery series. Okay, so it is the Nevermore Mystery Series by Stephanie Holmes. It is this cozy, slightly paranormal, slightly fantasy mystery series that heavy on the mystery, heavy on the cozy, has like a sort of an overarching like plot where essentially our main girl, it's also a little spicy, by the way, the town that she lives in, there's been a lot of murders because there's a series, but also the bookshop is run by Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. He's friends with Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes and the Raven from Edgar Allan Poe. Have all been kind of sucked through this magical doorway. I don't think I'm giving anything away here. I'm pretty sure this is all in the description of the series. And part of the overarching mystery is how or why that's happening. There are other characters from books that come up, but basically this is like a series where like your book boyfriends come to life, and it's just fun. It's not super romantic, it's not super spicy. There are some spice scenes in it, so if you're like, this is not a closed door, but it's not overwhelming. I think there's like 1 scene per book, and yeah, I mean, it's a cute series. Thank goodness they changed the cover art on these books, because the ones before the change were like, oh, I felt bad. They were not good. But the new covers are much cuter, and I believe that I am on book 4 in this series, which is Memoirs of a Garroter, a bookishly steamy urban fantasy. And I like it, and this is also a series where, and maybe this is maybe a trigger warning, I don't know, but the main female lead is progressively losing her eyesight. And I believe that the author, Stephanie Holmes, actually experienced this. Her experience of like slowly but progressively losing her eyesight is kind of being examined, or like the experience is very raw. You can tell it's very real, and that adds some dimension to like books that are otherwise very like cozy and like kind of have a lot of levity in them. And I wouldn't necessarily say they're funny, but they're definitely like they don't take like the murders quite as seriously as like a true murder mystery might. So I might read one of those, because I've also been itching to maybe pick the next one up. So yeah, We will see. Maybe I'll do all of that. Who knows? Alright, I'm back. I've showered, got myself ready for a cozy evening in. I also have both memoirs of a garroter, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, by Stephanie Holmes, and A Murderous Relation by Deanna Raybourn, which is the Veronica Speedwell series. Ready to go. Both are very much just cozy, fun, mystery, good times. And because oven's ready for pizza. Because I cannot, for the life of me, decide, I'm going to be flipping a coin. So I'm going to say heads, Veronica Speedwell, tails, Neverwhere Bookshop. So I'm just gonna, whoop. There we go. Heads, Veronica Speedwell. All right. So that's what we'll be reading tonight. I will check in a little bit to let you guys know how's it going. Hey guys, it is time to wrap up this reading vlog. It is officially the end of the month, and I finished this book, A Murderous Relation by Deanna Raybourn. This is number 5 in the Veronica Speedwell series. It is thoroughly enjoyable as the other books have been so far. So if you are looking for a cozy mystery series that has a very witty heroine and a very slow burn romance, I cannot recommend this one enough. I love it. I love that Veronica and Stoker's relationship has continued to progress throughout this series, and that it has evolved and changed. It is not like other series where, it's a slow burn and you know that just like, for some convoluted reason or another, they will never commit to each other. So if that's something that you are worried about, put your fears aside. It takes a long time, and they are definitely like one step forward, two step back type of characters, but it happens, and the mysteries are entertaining. It's a very easy series to read. They are not serious books by any stretch of the imagination. They will not, at least for me, they have not put me into reading slumps. In fact, they pull me out of reading slumps more often than not. It's just an easy popcorn book. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I may read the other one. I always figured it was Tales of a Garroter next, because like I said, I do have that craving, but I will save that for next time, because as I said, this vlog is ending. Yeah, no 5 stars in this vlog. 1 4.5 with The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That one was very close to a 5-star read for me, but I just don't see myself holding on to it or rereading it. So for me, a 5-star is something that like, I kind of make it my whole personality, for at least a period of time, and that book did not do that to me, even though I also really enjoyed that one and would recommend it to anybody who enjoys fantasy romance. I think that is a must read if you like that genre, but it just didn't have like whatever that little spark is that makes me say, I'm in love with this book. I would recommend it to anybody. I don't care what genre you normally read, like, you need to read this book. That one, it doesn't have that for me. But it was good. So with that, I hope that your books are treating you well. I hope you found a 5-star read this month, these last couple of weeks. If you did, please leave it down in the comments. I would love some suggestions. I did go through my 90+ books, and you know, I should probably take stock of that again, because I've definitely knocked a couple books out this month. We might be under 90 now. We might be at 89, I think. I think I did 4 books off the TBR this month, so I think I'm at 89 books left to go. I really hope that your books are treating you well. I hope that you've had a great couple of weeks, and have a good one in the future.